On a personal level, it's been a little while since Disney made a movie that speaks to me on such an emotional level, while at the same time being a gorgeous movie with great music, characters, themes, and animation. Oh, no, I'm talking about the original studio, the one that gave us the classics like Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King and so on. Was I not clear on that? I think the last really good Disney film to come out of the studio would have to be Zootopia. I think this one really surprised a lot of people on how smart, subtle, and real it felt. Yeah, the movie about a bunny becoming a police officer is actually pretty brilliant in terms of talking about race relations and prejudice. Who knew? Moana was a good movie, but it did feel pretty cliche in certain moments, and plus, it did try a little hard to be meta for my liking.
The ocean chose you for a reason.
If you start singing, I'm gonna throw up.
You sang like 20 minutes ago, you don't get to talk! Ralph Breaks the Internet was just the Emoji Movie again. Only like, slightly better. Like, it made me laugh more than the Emoji Movie did. But seeing as the Emoji Movie was just a boring, dull, corporate husk, that's not saying a lot. Frozen 2 and Raya and the Last Dragon were both ambitious to say the least, but both movies cared more about having a grand scale and big worlds rather than focusing on fleshing out their characters who, well, fine, you feel like you can just take them or leave them. Also, Frozen 2 songs just weren't as good as the first movies in my opinion, and Raya had a very confusing message that felt very forced and not very well developed at all. Just watch Shady Do-Rag's video about it. He sums up perfectly what's wrong with the movie's message. But now we've come to Disney's newest release and the 60th film they've made, Encanto. A movie that, honestly to me, didn't look that great from the marketing. I don't know what it was about it, but it just didn't grab me the same way that Raya did. I think Raya actually had pretty good commercials, but at the same time, that's probably what made me so disappointed in the first place when I saw it. So Encanto, with its not bad but not great marketing, left me with pretty low expectations. I was looking at Encanto like it was some side piece while Disney was working on its next big film, so I decided, I've got nothing better to do this week. What could possibly go wrong? Turns out absolutely nothing because I love this film. Seriously though, what the fuck? How did this happen twice? Back in 2016, everyone thought Zootopia was going to be the sideshow while Moana would be the main show. But no. Zootopia ended up being the main show. Like seriously, we all expected Raya and the Last Dragon to be this awesome, mature, and dark film with themes of war and prejudice and magic, and it all turned out to be a seriously cluttered mess with way too many locations, characters that bordered between okay at best and oh my god, I want to fucking kill you, and a message that was just way more confusing if anything. Meanwhile, Encanto, with its smaller story, good focus, brilliant songs that tie into the narrative perfectly, and a main character that is just so well written and powerful, it just makes me absolutely speechless. It's like whenever Disney tries to make a side piece, it ends up being the better film in every way. Hell, this happened back during the Disney Renaissance. Remember when Disney thought that The Lion King was going to be the less successful film and Pocahontas was going to be the big breadwinner? Yeah, funny how that turned out. But I don't mean that Encanto was better than Raya as in, oh, so it's just a pretty good film, right? No. Encanto is brilliant. I swear, I've only seen this movie twice already, and yet I think this could easily make my top 10 Disney films. I'm dead serious when I say that. Encanto is about a family called the Madrigals where, a long time ago, they were driven from their home when something called a miracle happened. The miracle not only gave the family a home that is alive, but also unique abilities called a gift. These gifts range from simple stuff like being able to hear literally anything, to creating flowers, up to bigger stuff like being super strong and even seeing the future. However, one member of the family named Mirabelle didn't get a gift from the candle for whatever reason. So now she has to live with her amazing family, which makes her feel, well, not so special. However, when strange events begin to threaten their home, Mirabelle decides to set out and solve the problem herself. So, like I said, this is a smaller story that Disney wanted to be a side piece, but strangely by making it on a smaller scale and putting more time and focus on the characters, you end up caring a lot more about them, as opposed to Raya where the focus was on the scale itself, not the characters. This movie has a really deep message that I'm not going to spoil in this video because I really do want you guys to see this movie, but the way the message ties into every character's struggles really does make them each more memorable than the last, and the songs all perfectly tie in with the narrative to where if you remove them, it wouldn't be the same. Now that's the sign of a good musical, where the music is key to understanding the plot. Every song moves the story forward and gives these characters a new layer of depth that I just wasn't expecting. I really thought we were going to have another Big Hero 6 situation where only like 1 or 2 characters would be good, but the rest would just be meh. But no! Every character is just so likable and funny and charming in their own unique way. I guess if I did have one problem, it's that I wish that some of these characters did get more screen time, but if anything, that's just a testament to how much I really like these characters. I want to know more about the kid who can shapeshift, and Mirabelle's parents. It feels like a fun and charming family all around. Speaking of the songs, they're all bangers. While I don't think musically it's as good as something like The Lion King, these songs are all still bops. We Don't Talk About Bruno has been in my head for days now, and I can't escape it. Someone send help.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know your name. No, I can't face the black. Control it.
What Else Can I Do is so visually striking with its gorgeous colors. The visuals in this film really do give me those Lion King vibes, but in a great way. Every song just pops, from the jovial Welcome to Family Madrigal to the sincere and emotional All of You. Every song has its own unique presence and they all stand out. I can't get enough of them. But I think the personal best thing about this film has to be Mirabelle herself. Now, this is coming more from a personal level, so feel free to disagree if you feel otherwise. But I think Mirabelle just might be one of the strongest main characters I've ever seen in a Disney film. The way she bears so much weight and pressure on her shoulders to try and live up to her family's expectations just really speaks to me. On top of that, she constantly has her family telling her to stay out of the way and not do anything despite not doing anything to begin with. There's this one scene in the beginning of the film where Antonio is about to get his gift, but is scared to go through with it. It isn't until he asks for Mirabelle's help that he's able to conquer his fear. But despite helping him greatly, she still feels like she's not doing much. Compared to her family and all they can do, she feels useless, like she'll never live up to them. The song Waiting on a Miracle feels a lot more than the typical I Want song that you hear from a Disney film, where songs like Go the Distance and Let It Go still resonate proudly with people who want to be accepted by everyone. Waiting for a Miracle is about being accepted by your family. And that, on a personal level, I think speaks more profoundly than those songs. We've all felt like we can't live up to our parents' standards, or have a brother or sister who we feel outshines us. And again, on a personal note, I feel that this makes Mirabelle such a strong, relatable character. But at the same time, she doesn't react negatively to her family or blame them for having what she doesn't. Mirabelle still keeps her head up high and strong and does whatever she can to help her family, despite her believing that they see her as the problem. That takes a lot of strength, and for her to keep pushing on and helping her family, who ends up seeing just how strong and brilliant she is in the end, it just really gets me, you know? I can't lie to you guys, by the end of the movie, I was low-key kind of tearing up by how the movie ended. I really see Mirabelle as a great role model for kids, and one I wished I had growing up. And the way the message of the film really just ties in perfectly with her character arc and the family itself was just beyond brilliant. It's so incredible just how good the message tied in with everything, from the songs to the characters up to the climax. This movie does everything it needs to perfectly. No twist villains, no unnecessary subplots, it ends at just the right length. Oh my god, I just love this movie. Encanto is just brilliant. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but still, I can't help it. I can't get enough of this movie. Everything about it just works. And even then, the weaker stuff, like a lack of great comedy, really doesn't irk me all that much. The message, the animation, the characters, the songs, and Mirabelle more than make this a great future Disney classic in my opinion. If for whatever reason you're holding back on watching this film, then I urge you to reconsider. And if you're still worried about COVID, well, then that's okay, I guess. The movie will come out on Disney Plus on December 24th, and you can bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna binge the shit out of this movie when it comes out until I hate it. And if you're not afraid, well then you have no excuse. Go watch the movie, you cowards, and see what makes the Family Madrigal so damn magical.